just a short little introduction. Thanks for coming back. This is Donna here, Paper Dreamer 1 on YouTube. And I want to thank everybody for stopping back to my channel today. 2 days in a row. Yesterday, or the last video I made, you saw my Dollar Tree haul, and I told you I had a project in mind to use some of those products. I have company, and the company may come up on the desk, I'm not sure. But at any rate, I have that video ready to go. And so this is just by way of an introduction, and you will get to see in this video that sometimes you have to do plan A and then plan B. So I'll be right back. Enjoy. Okay, so I'm going to start, the light is not too good here, but I'm going to start by painting the outside of this with some orange, just because I'm trying to get rid of the gold stripes. And it's kind of a slick surface, so the paint doesn't like to stick too well. I'm going to have to see if I can get better light, so let me just hold on a second. Now you come back. And that's not much better, but I'm going to give it a try. And if I don't like the way this looks, I will try something else. I'll put ribbon or something on it, but I'm going to try this first. And I have to make this video in sort of like little vignettes because I have to do different processes, and they have to dry, and they have to be repeated, and so on. And you don't want to sit and watch the whole thing over and over. So I'm going to be painting the outside of these little signs with, this is like a red orange, not really a true orange. And I must tell you, I am not known for my painting skills. I am known for painting everything within close proximity of what it is that I'm working on. Let me just get the other one. And we'll get one coat on both of these. The front is going to have some fall paper Mod Podged on it, so if some paint gets on the front, that's not a big deal. And of course the back you won't see, it will be inside, hopefully. I really wanted to do brown, but I didn't have any brown, and I tried mixing, and I'm just a little worse mixing than I am painting. So that didn't work. Oh dear. We all have our talents. Painting is not one of mine. I'm holding on to that little thing on the inside that you can hang this with. Makes a nice little handle that tries to keep my hands out of the paint as much as possible.
You talking to me?
I'm recording actually. So if you want to be in the movie, you can come in and talk. I look as if I'm sitting here talking to myself. So anyway, okay. So I have the outsides of these. No, I don't. Something is missing. Check the corners here. Okay, I have the outsides of these with one coat, and it's obvious that it's going to need two. You can still see the design through it, but it's not gold, so even if I end up seeing some of the design, I'm not going to be bothered by that too much. So let this dry, and we'll be back and see what else I can get into. Okay, this is Plan B. I didn't like that coloring there. So this is some of the paper that I plan to put on the front of this one. And I just cut some strips out. And I have Mod Podged it to the edge. I don't mind a little of that red showing. It looks a little bit like I've inked the edge. So that's fine. So this is now very wet. I'm going to try to set this aside and I'll work on the other one. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I'm going to cut some strips here. And this is not the paper that's going to go on the front. And I will explain why I'm using this for the edge. The edges will match. But the front paper has got words on it. And if I should use paper like this, so let me just use one of these pieces here. If I use paper like what is going on the front, then it's going to have the words going in all directions, which wouldn't look too kosher. And I'll show you what I mean. Okay, here's what the front is going to look like. Okay, so if I try to put the words around the outside, some of them are not going to be going in the right direction, or they'll be just cut in half, and it really won't look all that terrific. So I'm just going to use the same paper that I used for the back, and then actually the two sides, as you look at them, will match. So let me get these others cut, and we'll get them stuck on. And of course it would have been a whole lot easier if I had the boxes that were already decorated for fall. But then we wouldn't be able to get all gooped up and have fun with paint. And you know why? You should always try, get out of the box. And alrighty. Get this out of the way. Get these little pieces out of the way. And we'll move the box over where you can see it. And first I'm going to put some Mod Podge. Whoops, let's get this out of there. Yeah. On the side of the box. Quickly amount. And then we'll put some on the strip. Goodly amount. And then we'll put the two together. I'm going to put my fingers in the middle and going to push this way. push this way. Whoop, and it lifted. That's because my fingers are sticky. All right, let's go on to the next side. I see a bubble there. All right, I don't see any others. So we'll put this one here. Eat carefully. The bubble, and let that dry. And I'm going to go clean up. And as a matter of fact, I have to use a baby wipe in order to be able to shut the camera off. All right, so I'm going to go clean up, and we're going to let this dry. We'll get on to the next part. Oh, let me just show you what I'm going to do with the sticks. I'll start out by showing you, and then I'll do the rest of them off camera. I have some baby wipes here, and I'm just going to put, a little bit on my baby wipe, and just kind of rub it over the stick. Kind of gives it a little bit of a stained look. You can not really see too much because I've used a light color. Do another one. Just have to let everything dry. I will show you. But I did put the front piece on here. And so we're all letting everything dry, and then we'll meet again later and move on to the next step. See you later. Okay, here we are back downstairs, and we're going to start the next part. This is the front cover that we did, and this is the back, and they really came out nice. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this one and take two of these sticks, and I'm going to put them in the two corners like this. Okay? And I'll do that as soon as my glue gun is hot. Now I have to move up a little bit. No, I don't have to. Take that off the hook. There we go. And I want to make sure I get way into the corner and into the back. Okay? Give this glue just a minute to set. Now I'm going to go up this side, and I'm going to put one down at the bottom here, one up at the top here, and if we get two in the middle. Just about like that. Except I want these painted sides facing down. Okay, so let's do the corner ones first. Again, right into the corner. Kind of split the difference there. I just want to make sure that gets pushed down nicely in the back. Okay, one more. Now I have it. This is the, obviously we're making a little box here. And I'm just hoping that's going to hold. I'm going to let it set for just a minute more. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use it for florals or if we'll use it for pumpkins, but it will be a box that goes up on the top. Now what I want to do here is just put this cardboard in the bottom and make the bottom of the box. So what I'm going to do is put some right along here. And center that as best as possible. There we go. And you want to be very careful with this glue gun because it is hot. Alright, so now we have a box with one side. Now I'm going to tip it. And hopefully those are going to hold. And we're going to do the other side. Again, in the corner. In this corner. And split the difference. So, just give that a couple of minutes to set up. I'm going to let this just set up before I put the other end in, so I'll shut you off and I'll be right back in a minute. Okay, I think I'm going to just lift you just a little bit. Oops, sorry, wait a minute. There, okay, so now you can see this side. So what I'm going to do is start by putting hot glue on these two corners. Oop. And we're going to slide this in. This is really adorable. I love it. I'm going to let that set for a second. I was going to use this as one of the pieces, and I might still put it along the top, or I think it would be better if I just like lay it next to it on the bottom. Okay, I have some ribbon that matches this, and not very much of it, so I'll be able to make like one bow. Okay, so here's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to tip it up this way. And this will be for a right-handed person. But anyway, that's not me. So I'm going to just put the glue down here and push. And that was the one with the hole, and the glue came right through the hole. Not smart. See that quick hand movement? A little glue in that. Oh well, it'll never show. One more here. And I'll do the same in the other, and I don't have any holes on these, so I don't have to worry about it. So this glue is instantaneous, an instantaneous burn too. Okay, and there you have it, folks. Isn't this cute? Here you have the front. And it has a nice bottom on it. Now I don't know whether I'm going to use it for florals or I might put pumpkins in it, but I'm planning to use it on that baker's rack. So there you go. Now if you got these that were already decorated the way you wanted them, this was probably about a half-hour project. I made my own, so it was like a 4-hour project. I've got some pumpkins in the other room just to give you an idea. Well, if you're going to use florals, of course, you know, you'd have a floral arrangement in here. And that would look really pretty. Or let me get the pumpkins and I'll be right back and we'll see what they look like. Okay, here it is with a few pumpkins stuck in it. That's just for trial's sake. You put this in front of it. I think that's fantastic. And I'll have either, you know, if I don't have the pumpkins, what I'll do is I'll just put some of the moss and inside here, and then, but I don't like to really cover up the slats. I think the slats are kind of cute. So then we'll put one bow on the top. These pumpkins were outside, and an ant came in with it. That one's a little big. That's the wrong kind. But we can figure that out when we go to put them all together. But there you go. So it was $5 for all the sticks and $1 for each of the ends. 7. The rest of the stuff I had. But it was fun to make it, just because it's just fun to do crafts. So there you go. A crate for the fall. Okay, so not even going to bring you up right now because my wet hair day is now becoming an impossible hair day. But I will see you shortly with another project. These are kind of cute. Lots of things we can try in there. So I'll see you shortly with another project, and in the meantime, try something like this. It's really kind of fun. Just takes a few minutes if you buy something that's already decorated the way you want it, and if you don't, I have a scrapbook paper and made my own little carton. So that's it. Everybody play nice now. I'll see you back shortly. Bye-bye.